Hello, welcome everyone. This is part 2 of our color along out of Gnome Sweet Gnome by Teresa Goodridge for September. So we did not do the hats in the first part, so that is everything we covered in the first part. I started the second part and then I had some technical difficulties, so we're restarting. The only thing I did off camera was I used a couple of Sharpies and Bics and a random scenic form marker, and I colored the base of these hats. So this is the light orange, and then I was going over with pencil when I lost my video, so we'll pick up there. And then this is just the Desert Rose Bic around her. So that is the only thing. So I based this one with that marker, and then I went over with the Sharpie all the lines. And now I'm kind of going in and touching and adding some effects to the hat with pencils. So I'm using cadmium orange, pumpkin orange, and yellowed orange. I'm not doing any specific pattern or place. I'm just kind of coming in and picking and choosing. You can come in and put this pencil in before you do your marker lines, but not all alcohol markers love to go over wax pencils, so do be aware of that. So again, not really doing anything specific, just kind of adding some definition to the squares here is all. And it just gives it a little more of a fabric look, little more lively. So then I'll come in with that cadmium orange and kind of blend that out everywhere. And then we'll take that yellowed orange and finish blending it out. And so then we'll have a really cool looking, easy to do plaid gnome hat. Now when choosing the colors, I also talked about this, I keep forgetting I lost my video. So when choosing the colors for these hats, I brought in some purple because I'm going to want some purple in these bigger leaves. And I wanted there's going to be a big spot of orange here with these pumpkins, so I really wanted to bring that orange up. So we're just working on balancing our page. Again, we've got the nice warm fall colors, so I used a warmish purple, more of a red purple, then like a blue purple. Sidetracked, trying to fix my pumpkin. So I will come back and play with that little hat some more, but that's how I'm going to do the hat. And then I'm going to take let's see if I have a fine liner orange. I like a nice light orange fine liner. And I'm going to color in these flowers. So what we kind of did here with their hats is invert colors. His is orange with a little bit of purple, hers is purple with a little bit of orange. It kind of just makes them look like a cute little matching set. Thank you to everyone who jumped in and went ahead and completed this page anyway, though even though I'm so far behind on the color along, it is still appreciated. And then I will probably add a little gold accent for the middle of these flowers because gold goes with every season. And if it doesn't, it does now. So it's kind of like glitter, it goes with every season. Get my little yellow flowers in here. And now there's sirens in the background. I don't know if you can hear them, but they may get louder as a warning. We live right next to, I skipped a whole section of hat right there. We live right next to the hospital, so. Sirens are a common occurrence around here. Alright, so there is our cute little hat. Let me come in with this Desert Rose Sharpie real quick. I also talked about yellowing. Sharpies do yellow. I don't use them in my good books, but in the cheaper books, you can see this, all this yellowing is from this, where I use the blending and the Timu markers. So, but my pencils and everything will cover this, so I'm not too worried about it. But if you are worried about yellowing, do be aware of that when using them in your books. Again, I don't mind them on the single-sided books, but I don't use them in my good or my well-loved books. I do love my Teresa Goodridge books, but like I said, my pencil will cover it, so I'm not too worried. But yeah, so let's see where we want to go now. Let's play with a couple leaves. Actually, let me get noses in real quick. So I know by now everybody knows how I do my noses, so I'm not going to kind of really talk about it. I'm not going to give him any kind of sunburnt nose or anything this time because we're in the fall. So I'm just going to make that U shape and bring it up a little with my nectar. And then with a light peach or a deco peach, mine happens to be a deco peach, I'm just going to go ahead and blend them together. And then we have little gnome noses, and I missed an apple or two. This page is coming out so nice. I was so happy my upload went so well yesterday. I was so nervous because I've been having so many issues lately and switching phones and trying different things to figure out what the issue is. So I was so happy because we did so much yesterday, or well, it was yesterday to me, but by the time you watch the video, on part 1, so I was so happy that it I was so nervous, like all the things going on to top it off, my uploading issues. Okay, noses are in. Now let's see, let's go ahead and get some leaves in. Set my markers there in case I missed a spot. I am going to start, let's see, I'm going to do these ones like a nice bright green yellow. So I'm going to pull my lime peel, chartreuse, yellowed orange, and canary yellow. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to put the middles in lime peel. I got a little orange on it from my pumpkin. I'm going to roll with it. I'm not even going to erase it out. I'm just going to make it part of my leaf. Because the cool thing about fall, you know, leaves are all kinds of colors. So I'm kind of going up here and doing it this way just so I can see everywhere I have green. Again, even though this is fall colors and things, I'm bringing in another color. I'm bringing in green. So I want to have it balanced. I don't want to have a bunch of green up here and nothing down here. I don't want to have a big blob of green with all this corn and nothing up here. So I'm going to, that's just kind of how I balance my page, is kind of plot my colors. And we can even come in with a darker green if we need to. I don't think we will on this page though. Not for this. So we got a little green hiding right here. Now my corn is going to be green, but it's going to be a little different, so I'm going to leave that alone for now. But I am going to come up and do these leaves right here. These look like nice green leaves to me. Okay, is that all the ones I want green? So we got a little, and this grass will be green. I'm going to do my pumpkin before I put that grass in because I'm going to flick it, but so that'll add green there. So I think that will come out looking nice and even. Nothing too. Okay, so I'm going to go right to yellowed orange. And I know it sounds silly, but I'm just going to kind of scribble over that green. And I don't want them to look the same. So some are going to have more, some are going to have less. And this orange won't look as orangey when I'm done either. Now, this is not the way to get the realistic fall looking leaves, but it does the job on these cutesy little pages where realism isn't the huge goal of the page anyway. We're going for effective. Alright, we're going to take that canary yellow, and this is kind of what's going to set our leaf off from our pumpkins here. So that's why we also kind of did a little darker pumpkin, so our leaves here will stand out. Okay, now we got that all in and blended up. Then we can come back with the greens or brown or orange, whatever we desire. Let's go ahead and try this and see how it looks. And just kind of darken up a couple spots here and there. Trying to fill that pumpkin in around it. And I will play with this pumpkin some more and get it all matching when I get everything filled in around it. And then again, if you have anything you need to blend out, you can pick your orange, your green, whatever color you want to be your dominant. I probably wasn't even on camera because I forgot I was zoomed in for that whole section. Okay, I apologize. I was not on screen the whole time I was talking and showing. I'm going to do the same thing on the leaves up here. I really don't want to restart my video a second time, so we are going to roll with it, but I do apologize. I forgot I zoomed in because the detail on the hat wasn't showing up all that well and totally forgot, so I do apologize. So we put down the green. I went over with this nice yellow. Now I'm going to come in with my canary yellow, and I'm just going to circular motion blend it all together. And again, if you want more green than yellow, more orange than yellow, swap your colors, you know. It's totally up to you. It's just kind of the base of how you get multicolored leaves, we should all say. Sliding off camera here. So just all the leaves I went and put that green on. Coming back with that pumpkin orange, and we're going to be easy on the orange because we don't want to lose our leaves in his hat, but that little bit of orange on top just really makes that nice fall feeling leaf difference, to me anyway. So go back with a little bit of lime peel. And I am making these just a little greener because I really don't want them to get lost in that hat. And I do have to come back around this hat. And I am going to darken around these leaves, which will also help them stand out. So we'll have something like that when we are done. And then again, blend out our colors here. Those are going to be those leaves. Forgot these ones over here. Make sure I am visible. Okay, up here, same thing. And then if you get your background in and your leaves aren't sticking out, you can come back. You can add more orange, you can throw in some red, you can brown it up like, so don't worry. If it's starting to, if we need to change the colors, we certainly can. Again, just bringing in a little bit of that orange just to keep my page cohesive. Orange is going to be a strong theme throughout. Alright, so now I'm just taking a dark brown and a sienna brown, and I am coming in and putting in a little bit of her hair here. Sorry for the kind of like jump scene. I had to run my boy to the doctor and get him all fixed up and back on track. I tell you, I just cannot catch a break. So I am a little behind, but if you are joining in, this is September's page. This is part 2, and then I will be starting October's page, which is this cute little guy on the tractor here. I did get a question about why my pages are finished, and honestly, lately, this year, it has just been because it has been one thing after another. I feel like I've constantly been behind, and to try not to hold everybody up. But the other reason is, on these tutorials, I noticed when I do the main part, the pumpkin, the apples, this, the after the finishing up and the little touches don't get a whole lot of views, and so I didn't think they were really a big part. If you ever have a question or if you want to see something specifically done, I can definitely do that. But watching my views in my analytics, the first 2 parts of my color alongs do really well, and then the last 2 never really do. So if that is something we are looking to change, or if that bothers anybody else, I can definitely work on it a little more. Like I said, these color alongs aren't really tutorial based or anything. They're more just kind of motivations. Some people like to watch them as they color kind of thing. This is peach beige, and this will look better in a sec. But yeah, so that is kind of why I do the main parts, and then kind of see how it goes. If, you know, if I feel like there's anything tricky or that people would like to see. Obviously on this page I knew that this barrel, the pumpkin, and the apples were going to be a big one to see in the leaves. Especially in this gnome book, I kind of got away from doing the gnomes and their hats, and that is more on me. Honestly, I think I was getting a little gnome burnout there for a minute. This was not the only gnome book that came out at the time, and I did start this color along in November, but I had been doing other gnomes, so that might have been more of like a thing I wasn't aware of, that I was intentionally kind of not showing the gnomes and things. So I will try to be more aware of that. But please, if you do ever have any concerns, or if you see me starting a page and you're like, oh, I would really like to see how you do this, and you want to let me know, I will definitely do that part. Like I said, my main thing was it wasn't getting a lot of views, and I felt like by the time I sat down and I colored it and I recorded it and I edited it and I uploaded it, and then no one was really viewing it, I feel like the time I could have put in there was better spent putting in on other tutorials or the mythographic color alongs I was doing and things like that. So I will try to be more aware, and things are calming down. You know, my mom is home. She was life flighted twice. The fires are still a little bit of an issue, as we have had 2 fires collide and kind of make one big fire headed our way, but we are getting back onto a schedule. We are home. I am getting back to my normal filming station here, so I appreciate everyone's patience. I know this color along hasn't gone exactly as planned, but I do still see tons of pretty pages, and I'm so glad so many people are still enjoying it and really getting a kick out of it. I think we are going to do a big party for November for our 1-year coloring in Gnome Sweet Gnome. Some sort of giveaway. So be ready for that. And I will probably go into details in that in the October video. That way everybody has some time to participate and plan and all of that, because I know lots of people do. Lots of hashtags and things everybody wants to join in on, so I'm not gonna add anything else to the list, but something to keep an eye out, something fun. So I'm just kind of going back in and darkening some spots. I colored right over the top of that peach beige with my sienna, and it works perfect to just lighten that color just a little bit, but not enough, because we don't want a weird glare on her hair like her hair is shiny, but we do want to make it look kind of soft and smooth. Alright, so I think we did great there. Let's play with some corn. Alright, so to start with on my corn, I am going to pull a canary yellow, a yellowed orange, and then I'm also going to pull a cream. Now I'm going for more of kind of a yellow with the highlight. Not necessarily realistic corn. I was thinking about doing Indian corn, but I really don't think I want to put all them added colors right here. I really want my main focus to be kind of the center of my page. So I am going to go yellow corn. Personal preference. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of take this yellow and I'm going to leave the middle of the kernel white, And some of these will get real small and there'll be, you know, no way you can really, but on these bigger ones, so I'm just kind of doing the edges darker, we'll see. All right, okay, and then this is that yellowed orange. And same kind of theory. And if you don't like the orange, you could do goldenrod. A yellow ochre would be real pretty if you're trying to stick to the darker yellow. Again, I have a lot of orange in this page, and even if my eye doesn't see it, my brain will kind of catch it and correlate everything together. And then we will take a little bit of this cream. We will just kind of blend it all together, and at the same time it gives it just that little bit of highlight. So you could scribble all your colors down at one time if you wanted to. Prismacolors, especially in these books, I've noticed, and this cream color, really like to smear the ink, which is a bummer. And with corn being corn, I don't want to smear too much black through my kernels, so taking this route a little, and I can kind of come back and see where I need to add some more in. Let me actually bring it in a little, zoom in a little, see if you guys can see what I'm talking about. And then I'm gonna pull my greens, and I might come back and play with this some more as I get it in there and kind of able to see what I like and don't like when everything else fills out. You know, you could even come in and kind of fill in all yellow on that one. Maybe you want to do this one all orange. So there's a little variance going on in there. Totally up to you. I forgot to pull my lime peel, so I'm going to pull my lime peel. When I'm doing these nice fall kind of corn husk colors, I still like to keep it fall. So I like a yellow green like lime peel, artichoke, colors like that. This one is apple green, and then I have an olive green as well, and I might not use the apple green, but I pulled it just in case. So sorry about that. I was gonna zoom in and then I paused it and someone came and talked to me, and then I totally forgot about the zoom in part. So this is that lime peel. And again, this is my medium color, so I'm going to come in with a darker and a lighter. So compared to the way I normally color, which is dark to light, this is a little backwards, but I like to do it this way because of the blending. So I'm also going to color a few of these in ahead of time. Not real sure what that extra line right there is, so I'm going to leave it for a minute. But to kind of show you what I mean here. So then I'm going to come in with that olive I just had, and it's going to be my dark. So the lines right up next to that corn, maybe the tip up here where it's folded, right along the pumpkin, because that pumpkin will leave a shadow. If there's anywhere I want it a little darker. Same with these. And then we are going to pull that yellow ochre. So 1 second to sharpen this. And we were going to go right over the top, circular motions, and blend. Now, if you don't like it looking this yellow, you can come back over it with your green, and I probably will add a touch more green. But it is just a little easier to blend with this yellow. So back in with this. And then this is where I'll do the circles and really try to start smoothing out any rough lines I have. And I'm actually even going to add a little canary yellow, I think, just to kind of bring the corn into it a little more, so they look, you can tell that they belong to the corn. sure I'm on camera here. I'm good about sliding off, especially when I get to the bottom of a page. While we're talking about comments, I would like to remind people I am not a professional. I do this for fun. I am not paid. Purely for fun. Alright, so same thing over here. I'm just going to kind of go down the side of my kernels. Come in with this and highlight the edges just a little. Make one or two a different color. And then cream. So I will do that to the same corn on this side, and let's play with a couple of these fall leaves. There are so many ways you can do leaves, especially depending on your media. So my suggestion to you is kind of watch a little bit of everybody and use what works for you. That's I get questions about fall leaves a lot, and honestly, I've played with them lots, and I'm still kind of learning myself what I like. So let's see, let me make sure I have a leaf on camera here. Let's go this guy right here. We're gonna play with some reds, so I don't want the only place on a page. I don't want one color only in one spot. Like this purple will need to come down into a leaf. These reds will need to come, because if we leave just the red here, it is great for eyes. Our eyes are going to go straight to that red because it's the only red on the page, but it does have a little off balance feel. So I am going to start with a dark red, a Tuscan red, a terracotta. This is a crimson lake, and this is red, and it's going to look real red. Trust the process. We're going to put in the vein of our leaf as good as we can here. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're going to smear it anyway, but so we want that in nice and dark, at least the center part of it. I am going to put a very light tip in a couple tips of the leaf. That's just for blending and bringing in the red. I'm going to do the same thing to this leaf right here. I'm going to want this leaf a little more red because it lands on an orange pumpkin. So things to be aware of as well. These are really pretty yellow leaves. I did everywhere else, but I do, you know, we don't want to lose them in our pumpkin when we add the orange. This is poppy red, scarlet red, permanent red. Carmine red is a little more pinky than it is red, especially when you start blending it, so be aware of that. Still a very pretty color, still doable. Okay. And then we're going to come back to that good old yellowed orange. And again, I'm not going to do a lot of orange because I don't want to lose my leaf in this pumpkin, but I don't want to go from red straight to yellow. That jump will not be pretty, so we need a little transition color. So we're going to bring in this orange. And again, be aware that there's a pumpkin there, so we don't want too much orange on this leaf either. And we can always come back with our poppy red and kind of darken that up if we feel like we're losing our leaf. Bring a little bit of yellow. And this is not blended. It is very splotchy, very mixed, till we make sure we have the color combination we like. And then I am going to bring in a touch of that lime peel again. Again, this is just kind of bringing in the greens, and it's a great blending color. Circular motions, as much or as little as you like. So I am going to leave this one open in the comments, and I will not finish this off camera right away. I do have, for whatever reason, my phone struggles to upload videos over 30 minutes, which is also why some of my videos are kind of cut short, because at this point I've showed you a little bit of everything. I've showed you how to do the pumpkins, the corn. So if there is anything else on this page that anybody would like to see, or if you'd like to see it finished, leave a comment below. I will give it a few days. If the majority would like to see it finished, I will come back and finish it on camera. If not, I will leave it as is and finish it on my own. And I will kind of do that and test the waters and see how it goes. If I do have enough people with me now that I have, I have a lot of new followers that I didn't have before. So if we do prefer to see the full color alongs, then I will work on making that more, I will do that more on my pages. So just kind of let me know. But I will be starting October's page for those of you that are following on the cute little tractor guy. So there is our page, and I will come up here and anyways, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to make this leaf up here red like I did the bottom ones, just to kind of show you what leaf I'm talking about. This is the wrong red. Use your dark red. Use your Crimson Lake. And I skipped a couple apples, so I will come in with a little bit of my darker red here and get these apples that I see now that I skipped put in, and the pumpkins. So I appreciate it. Questions, comments, requests, anything like that, let me know. This is going to be a beautiful page when we're done with it. I do think, for those asking, I am going to do a light blue background like they're sitting outside, and it'll be kind of the sky. Just a very light dainty blue as to not detract from anything else on the page. I was going to do yellow, but I really don't want to lose my leaves and corn. So that is my plan. Hopefully I will have more of it done on the thumbnail when it uploads, but you are also welcome to check out the group. I am slowly getting my color alongs uploaded to albums with the links in the comments, so it is easier to find each part of each color along. So as they go up, if you ever need help finding a link, just let me know what you're looking for and I will get it to you. And I hope to see you for October's page. Thanks for watching.